What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news, some bad news concerning Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is up for the final eliminator for the crown of to fight Deontay Wilder, but here's the bad news, okay? Deontay will go a different direction for his next fight, possibly against Anthony Joshua. With Wilder out of the picture, Ruiz ranked number 1 by the WBO, number 2 by the WBC, and number 3 by the IBF, will need to look elsewhere for his next fight. Hopefully Ruiz faces it's not his only fight in 2023, because he's only fought twice since losing to Anthony Joshua. Now, yeah, that's bad news for Ruiz, because I think Ruiz was really interested on fighting Tyson Fury. That's if he could win against Deontay Wilder. And if so, to say the least, if he lost to Deontay Wilder, he could at least get that one last payday. Okay? So who could he fight? He's asking who should he fight? He's asking social media, like, who is it? Who do you think it should be? Well, I have some names for Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz could fight Filip Hrgovic. He could fight Filip Hrgovic because Filip is waiting on the IBF. That's if Filip wants to do that. Because remember, a lot of people surpassed and ducked Hrgovic, turned down the right or the opportunity to fight Hrgovic for the IBF. So, you know, he may get bitter and say, you know what? Screw that. I don't want to fight Andy Ruiz because Andy Ruiz didn't want to fight me. Next, Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is sitting there waiting for that next opponent. You know, Andy Ruiz would definitely be a guy that Joe Joyce could fight, and vice versa, because if either one of those guys could take each other out, they would have those bragging rights of beating each other. See, Andy Ruiz has never been knocked out. Joe Joyce has never been knocked down in the professionals. So both of those guys have known to have good chins. You know, I'm not really sure about the gas tank on Andy Ruiz, because I think Andy fades like he did with the Ortiz fight. But I know Joe Joyce doesn't fade. So that would be a fight, and Andy Ruiz likes those type of guys that come right at him. So that would probably be one of the fights of the year. I would go for that one amongst others. However, here's a third option, and last for me. Daniel Dubois, the WBA regular heavyweight champion, okay? Why not him? And I think that would probably be the easier fight for him, because I do definitely see him beating Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois has heavy hands. He can punch hard as a mother sucker. But I think his punch resistance is not up to par, or is not parallel with his punching power. Okay? I think that's the kink of it in his armor. I don't think he can take shots well. Okay? Based on Kevin Lerena, the South African fighter, I don't think he can take that well. But he has surgery, so maybe not him. So he's out, right? So we got Hrgovic. We got Joe Joyce. Who else? Efe Ajagba's fighting Shaw. So, you know, that won't happen. Oscar Rivas is out, because he's out. He was supposed to fight Efe Ajagba. So it's a lot of injured fighters these days, man. So really, if I'm aggressive and if I'm Andy Ruiz, I would definitely take on those guys. But there is another guy, though, I just thought of. Another fighter that Andy could fight, and that's Otto Wallin. If Otto Wallin can beat Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz was up for an eliminator that Deontay Wilder passed on, he may be replaced by Otto Wallin if Otto Wallin can beat Andy Ruiz. But that's no sure thing, because Otto doesn't really have a big punch. He's not like a big puncher like, you know, Joshua or Ortiz. But that would definitely be a fight to happen. But of course, guys like Otto Wallin, they're waiting around for that next big fight, and they may feel that Andy Ruiz is not big enough. because it's all about what have you done lately. Sure, you've beat Ortiz, but what condition Ortiz was in? How credible can you give that win? Bars. So, Philip Hrgovic, Joe Joyce, and Otto Vailene. I think he should pick out of those three and those three only. If it's anybody else, if it's some fucking body like Robert Helenius, go suck an egg. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Andy Ruiz maybe getting bypassed by Deontay Wilder in order for him to fight someone like Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!